Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife and Resources Agency.
Hey, welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on AM 790 right here in Memphis, Tennessee for all you good folks. And in-studio guest, John David Santee, talking about an article I wrote about him when he was real young and when I was a lot younger during those days. And we also have on the line with us Andy Tweed, TWRA Wildlife Officer based out of Shelby County here. And I want to let John David go a little bit here because I know he's already had success. Mississippi, right? Yeah, you've already been to South Carolina, done that. Talk about the Hawaiian trip with your girlfriend, right? I mean,
I did. I brought her along this year for the adventure. So,
well, talk about that because a lot of folks don't think there's turkeys, and there's turkeys in every state, I think, except Alaska.
That's right.
Okay,
that's right.
So talk about this Hawaiian bird.
So the idea kind of came about a couple years ago, and actually last year, my cousin and I, kind of on a whim, last minute, we went over there and hunted. We actually hunted some public land for 4 days, and we killed one.
Over there, he said, just around the corner here. It's in
we,
Hawaii.
Hopped
Andy.
on a plane, and when we landed that night, we didn't have a rental car or a place to stay. But within an hour or so, we had it figured out.
Okay.
And like I said, it was very last minute, but it was worth it. We went over there, kind of, got the lay of the land, and it's some extremely rough terrain. Most people don't think of Hawaii as kind of rough terrain, but
what's Volcanic Island?
We were sleeping at sea level and hunting at 10, 11, 12, 13,000 feet.
You were, yeah.
So it takes a long time to get up that high to where we were hunting. So it was quite the adventure. And then this year I decided to bring my girlfriend back there for a little getaway from the snow.
Right.
And so I booked a day, just one day actually, with an outfitter there, and we went. I guess it was the second or third day of the season, and went out and had a great hunt. Snow-capped volcano in the back, so it had just.
I've
snowed
seen
there.
pictures. Yeah, unbelievable pictures.
And when we left that morning to go hunting, I think it was like 80-something degrees. Down closer to the ocean, and then. When we got out of the truck where we were hunting, it was below freezing.
It was below freezing,
and it's really cool. But you don't think about it, but people kind of ask what's it like hunting there, and
a lot of vegetation down low, but the more you got up, the rugged terrain.
Well, it's all extremely rugged. I try to tell people it's like imagine putting a blindfold on and walking across a riprap rock at a pretty extreme angle. And so with grass so the grass is all grown up over the lava rock, and so
over the lava,
it's just ankle breakers every step
so
of the way.
So talk about the bird. I mean, was this?
It was a pretty cool hunt. We had seen these two gobblers. They were down kind of a bowl. I guess it's a volcano crater of sorts, and
You call them up just like you do here? I mean, was it
similar? They're Rios, so they gobble a whole lot.
They are
more,
Rios,
so
okay. All right.
Their gobbling tendencies are a lot more than these guys around here. But so you're kind of able to keep tabs on them a little better, and there's so much contour in the terrain. You can kind of move around without being seen. So we got in pretty close to them, and I knew they had kind of gone in, to the bottom of this crater and, slipped in close and made a few calls. And here they came, two of them right to me and gobbling the whole way in. And my girlfriend, she was probably 100 yards back or so, kind of watching the whole thing go down from up above. So I know as soon as I pulled the trigger, her first words were, here we go, let's go to the beach. So,
but there was an outfitter, so they do have outfitters. I mean, there are people that hunt this elusive bird.
So there's a lot of things to hunt over there. It's the amount of game birds over there is pretty unreal. Just
really,
with there not being any natural predators, they can thrive.
Yeah,
and the environment and the temperature and everything just allows for. Everything.
Did you run into any game wardens over there?
So in order to hunt over there, you actually have to go to the game warden office to get your tag. So
Yeah,
I actually,
hear that, Andy?
yeah, made friend. The guy actually recognized me from last year. So
He did. Okay. Yeah.
no, they're really nice folks over there, and it's very strange how similar a lot of things are over there to here. Though,
Yeah.
it's a very very agricultural,
Oh, it is.
rich
Yeah.
environment.
Yeah.
A lot of
Yeah.
cattle.
Yeah.
So it's a neat place, and definitely one to.
You've marked it off your bucket list.
I've
now.
marked it off.
Your bucket list. Rio. I was wondering what kind of bird. A short season they have, or they have a pretty good season?
I think it's March 1st to April 15th.
Okay,
So.
something like that. Well, I wonder because weather's always the same.
And they have a pretty intense fall season there that they allow dogs with. So
Dogs with.
similar to what was a kind of a big thing around here for a long time.
Yeah,
back
yeah.
in the day. So
Yeah. Hear that, Andy? So if you want to retire to Hawaii and be a game warden in Hawaii, you can head out there in the rugged territory. But that's John David Santee telling us. I was just wondering about that because that's pretty cool. I know a lot of people have got the Grand Slam, the Royal Slam, and I just didn't know what kind of bird, but it is the Rio.
it is Rios, and so they're a little bit smaller.
Oh, they are
actually.
Well, I know the Osceola is smaller. I think in Florida.
I've killed Rios in Oklahoma and Texas and some other places like that, and they usually tend to be some pretty good sized
They can't
birds.
be native. Have they been brought in? Do you know if they've been
in Hawaii?
Yeah.
Oh, they were. They were
brought in. Yeah, you don't just show up out there in the Hawaiian Islands. Okay,
I think they were introduced in the 60s there.
in the 60s. Okay, well, I was introduced in the 60s too myself to a lot of things. Well, thank you, John David. I wanted to hear that. I wanted you folks out there to listen to him talk about that. And Andy, I've got the rule book here and everything, and you really need to be on guard today, folks. The season goes through I think the 28th of May. I'm looking for it here. 15th through the 28th. And Andy, I know that with the new changes, people just got to be aware of these, right? I mean, Andy, and you guys have gone over the rules and regulations, particularly the bag limit and the late start. I know you probably hear gripes about that and things along that line.
It's been a rough couple of weeks. People, wanting to go and they can't go, and here's Mississippi open and everybody else, and we're stuck waiting.
You haven't found anybody hunting, have you, Andy Tweed?
I've had some complaints, but I haven't found anybody yet.
Okay, that's good because I heard some people were not really confused. You did not want to be out there on the 1st of April. April Fools would not be a real thing. So you're looking for baiting? You're looking for over the bag limit, not checking it in. What advice do you offer the hunters as they're out there today and begin the season?
The biggest thing is, if you've got, say, 2 or 3 or 4 gobblers or a couple of jakes and a gobbler coming in, make sure that they're well separated before you pull the trigger.
Don't kill two. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, don't kill 3 in one shot, which can happen.
Yes, it can. Yes, yeah.
So the best plan of action is make sure you got a good, safe shot. Make sure your bird is close enough to shoot at, even though people say this TSS now will kill them at 70 yards. That's great. But that's still, I think that's a little far. I wouldn't shoot any farther than about 50.
Well, 50s, and John David was saying 40. I like them better at about 20 to 30 myself. I
love 30. A 30-yard shot's great. Your pattern's nice. And, I don't shoot the super constricted chokes. I shoot a regular full choke.
Yep, that's right. Yeah.
Shoot them right up, at 25, 30-yard range and never have a problem.
Well, I've got both of my shotguns ready, my black gold, my Browning black gold, which weighs about as much as I used to weigh. It feels like it. But till I get my 20 gauge back, and I've seen a lot of folks now with the what they consider the new ammunition, shooting 410s even.
Yep.
But the 20 gauge to me is the gun, and that's what we talked about on last week's show. The tote that 12 gauge around, but I've got a sling and everything like that on there. So, Andy, I know that you've been on it a long time. You're already on. You've been on the river this week and things. Tell our listeners out there a little bit about. Don't let the warm temperatures fool you about the water temperatures, right, Andy?
But man, coming out of the Mud Island Harbor, and once you get onto the river, there's an immediate 10 to 12 degree change just, because the river's so cool.
Yeah.
And the water temperature in the river right now, I'm going to say, is around 48 degrees,
wow.
maybe 50.
Yeah.
And, and I used to be, it's funny that, John David's a guide out in, Idaho and Wyoming and out there. I was a fishing guide on Yellowstone Lake back in the 80s, and we had to have signs all over the marina because the water temperature was 45 degrees. And, if you fall in at 45 or 50 degree water, your life expectancy is about 15 minutes. 15
minutes. And I know I got some friends that live in the Denver area where the temperature has broken the record, like 85, but that doesn't mean them mountain streams are that warm.
Dealing with the ice melt water. I mean, even in July when you're fishing the Madison or the Bighorn or the Green River, wherever, it's still 45 degrees. It's freezing.
Yeah, and that
even the little red here. Go fly fishing that with no waders on.
I ain't doing it. I'll be in the Little Red on Monday, Andy, but I won't be fly fishing and I won't be wading out there. And one thing before we let both of you guys go, the river is high too, Andy. I noticed when I was going to Arkansas early in the week.
Yeah, it's up there. It's dropping right now.
It is?
The next couple of systems and what snow melt we're going to start getting is going to be the litmus test. I hope this river gets down below 10 feet. I don't think it will, just due to the fact we're in the springtime, we're in the rainy season.
Yeah.
But if things will hold off in the lower Ohio Valley, we may scathe another high river again this year, which is a big plus for our turkey.
Yeah, it is.
Huge plus.
Yeah, huge plus with the poult counts and everything else, particularly in the Shelby Forest area. Andy Tweed, thank you, man. We'll get you in the studio here in a couple of weeks maybe when things get rolling. John David, thank you for being with us this morning.
Thank you, Mr. Larry. It's always good to see you, and it's glad you're doing well, and hope you're going to get out the next couple days and get you a turkey yourself.
I'm going to try. All right, let's take a break on Outdoors with Larry Ray, and then we're going to switch to the man that can talk fishing. He'll be right back. Ron Wong. We'll be right back with Outdoors with Larry Ray.